Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Wednesday Wake Up.
It is a great day and a great week. We're so happy anybody is able to tune in or watch later with us. This week, each week we kind of chat back and forth on Tuesday to figure out what we're going to talk about this week, like what has resonated or hit us this week. And one of the ideas Jen had was living in the now, and she texted me. It was like later in the day, and I was it was funny because she wrote "living in the now?" ? And I just like saw it really fast, and I was kind of tired, and I was like,
thought I was asking for that. We're all living in the now.
But that truly is our theme right now. Like that is, it's like the key to everything
so simple,
else,
right? And of course we're living in the now, but we're not.
Most of us are not.
Right.
I know I was not forever. And most of the time now, I would say, I don't know if it's a lot of the time, it's a practice.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot because we are not, our world does not prize living in the now. It does not prize being in the one thing that you do right now. But when you can find that key, when we found that key, real big shifts started to happen in our lives.
So what does that mean, living in the now?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are going to be like, we're always living in the now. So what's the deeper meaning of that?
So for me, this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, is what it was like my aha moment of life. And what it means is that you are fully 100% present in whatever you're doing at that particular moment. And that means you're not thinking about what's happening later. You're not thinking about what happened yesterday. You know, like if you had that argument with your boss or your partner or your kid did something that really annoyed you, but you're cooking dinner, there's no reason for all of those things, or the big project that you have to work on tonight for tomorrow morning. There is absolutely 100% no reason for those thoughts, that stress, to be interfering with your dinner.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you're standing in the kitchen, your feet are on the mat in front of your stove, and you have a spatula in your hand, your job in life is to cook that food
and enjoying it.
Enjoying even if like you don't love to cook. I found a lot of the things I thought I didn't like.
It's just because our mind's somewhere else.
It's because I felt like I had somewhere else I should be, or I would rather be. You know, like when this dinner's done and the kids are fed and they're put to bed, then I can sit on the couch.
Yeah.
But you're losing like 3 hours of your life by doing that. And there are so many beautiful, precious things that can arise if we allow ourselves to be fully 100% present. And like I said, it's not easy.
No, I'd say I'm like 40% there. Like, and I try. I'm really like focusing on that and being mindful of it.
Yeah, it's years. I mean, I feel like we all have, like, this is a seed we're planting. For some people, you already have started the practice, and for some people, maybe it's the first time. Like we said, it seems simple. And I read this book probably 2 or 3 times before all of a sudden I was like, oh,
it makes sense.
And the way, I know I've told the story before in many, many different places, and maybe even here, I don't know. But the way that I truly got it was waking up in the morning, like a practice of, and this is meditation, waking up in the morning when the alarm goes off, not pushing sleep, because when you push sleep, or you like, oh, do I have to start my day? It's Monday blues.
You're dreading the future.
Right. You're resisting the now. You're resisting what's happening right now. And every day is an opportunity to have wonderful experiences. But if we're pushing them off, we're missing them. So getting up, like turning that off, and then just putting my feet on the ground and saying to myself, like I did a lot of talking to myself out loud or in my head, but just my feet are on the ground. I feel the soft, fuzzy carpet. I'm sitting up in bed. I feel my back is really achy in this spot. I'm going to stretch it out. And then I'm standing up, and I just narrated in a really crazy, detailed way
to make
for
your
myself.
thoughts be where your body is.
Right foot, left foot, stretch, scratch and itch, left foot, left foot, all the way to the bathroom, opening the door. I feel the cold knob in my hand. Like really all those details for yourself. And you know, the kids are coming, you're like, I feel the cold knob, I feel somebody tugging on my leg, I'm stopping, I'm leaning down and giving my daughter a kiss, or whatever, like all of those. And in each moment, really enjoying whatever it is, the taste of the toothpaste, the smell of the toothpaste on your toothbrush. And it takes, you know, in the beginning, just like anything, when you're learning to drive a car.
So not natural. Yeah.
Right. It's not like when you first learned to drive a car when you're 15, 16, whatever, like it was totally not natural. Now you can probably, not that you should, drive a car, eat a burrito, listen to a podcast, deal with the kids in the back.
Without
you probably
even having
can,
a thought. Yeah.
because it's on autopilot. So this is just like any other skill. It's going to need practice. It's going to need daily incorporation in the beginning, and then it's going to become second nature. But this, unlike learning how to multitask while driving the car, which is the opposite, Jen's going to talk about that in a couple of minutes, this is going to really make your life a lot more richer. I know for me, it really has shifted everything.
Yeah. We were talking a little while ago, and me and a friend were having a conversation just a few months ago, and we were talking about multitasking and how moms and women are really good, and we're like, well, we're not quite multitasking, because my brain honestly cannot do, I mean, nobody's brain can do more than one thing at a time. So we were just Googling, and there was a whole article on moms and women doing something called rapid monotasking. And we were like, yeah, that's what we do. We're so great at that. And, you know, we can be cooking dinner and have our eye on the kids, and we could be listening to our podcast, and we could be like literally like cleaning a spill on the ground at the same time. Like, you know, we can do probably 16 different things all at one time. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I'm so good at that. And then, you know, after really trying to slow myself down these last couple months and really see, like, why are we here? And, you know, just get deeper, like the meaning of why we're here all the time, I've tried to reverse that, because what was I getting out of those moments? My brain was constantly going, what's the next thing I have to do? What's the next thing I have to do? Okay, I accomplished that. I accomplished that. And again, it was getting to that end point. And I finally get to stop rapid monotasking, because I've been doing it all day. My brain is exhausted. My body's exhausted. I have no emotions left for my family. I mean, it just ends in all of this. A lot of women actually end up with adrenal fatigue and autoimmune conditions. And so it's been really eye-opening to see that I really valued that and was proud of that, because I was getting all these things done, but I wasn't really enjoying any of them, right? So now, as Kim was saying, like when I'm cooking dinner, I'm cooking dinner. My brain is not going, okay, I have to do this tonight, I have to do this tonight, let me be taking notes as I'm doing dinner. I'm really like looking at the food, enjoying cutting my vegetables. If the kids come in, I don't have my phone in my hand looking up things. I'll invite them to help me, you know, really engaging in conversation. So trying to reverse that rapid monotasking that's been put in our heads that's so beneficial, it's not. When we really look at it for ourselves and our health and our well-being, and say your kid comes in and you're rapid monotasking and you give them a half answer and you think, okay, I got their answer done. But is that more meaningful to them than if they come in and you stop what you're doing? You look them in the eyes, you get down to their level, depending on what age they are, and you have a real conversation with them. They're going to know at that moment, even if you only had a minute to do that, that you were truly there with them. And then we're also teaching them that you don't need to be going, because that's the example we're giving for our kids too, is, oh, mommy's always going. And then sometimes kids dread being a grown-up, right? And now, just these last couple weeks, I've been reading these books too, and listening to some great YouTubers and things like that on my downtime, and I just am enjoying my children more. I'm going out to parks and putting down my phone, observing nature like I've never done before, and that is so huge for our health and our mental health and our physical health. And it's just very interesting how the world is completely different when you're living for this moment and not just constantly on your to-do list and your rapid monotasking and what else can I get done today. It's, what did I enjoy today? Did I have fun today? And this is what your kids are going to see. Hey, mom is just sitting under that tree watching the birds. Hey, mom is watching us. She's really enjoying watching us play. And it's going to have such a huge impact on how they see us and how I get to live my life in more peace.
And I know when I first read all of that and I first heard people talking like this, I was like, yeah, right. Like, well, but like you must not have the same things that I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm in grad school and I have a job and I have 3 other jobs and, you know, like I have to multitask or else I wouldn't survive. And there are 2 things. On some levels, you know, when if you're a person who's at a place where there's just, you're at maybe rock bottom. I wasn't at rock bottom, but I was at survival mode. Like I had to work all of those jobs in order to survive. It's going to be a little harder, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible. And you just start in the moments that you can. And I promise you, it overflows.
It does.
And then once you get to I think we all kind of think we're at that place. Like whenever we're starting, we probably feel like we just have so many things going on. But when you start with just one thing, I think that's where I got the toothbrush thing. Like just choose one thing that you're going to do every day fully present. So maybe it's brushing your teeth because the kids aren't awake yet. Or maybe it's
taking a shower is a good one because that's just quiet time. And a lot of people put music stuff on. Just don't. Just have that. Pay attention to your body. That's a big one for me.
But it also can be hard because that's the time when so many thoughts come in the shower.
Oh, true.
Not to counteract it, but I remember thinking that it was, because I really thought it was too. And then I was taking a mindfulness-based stress reduction course, and they said don't start with the shower. And I was like, and I think every person is different.
Right.
But I was like, but I like the shower. But then I started realizing I was enjoying the shower, but I was also planning my day, and I was also, even though I thought I wasn't. But what's really in The Power of Now, he always talks about, and I think you kind of just said it, is that the moment you realize you're thinking about all these other things and you're becoming the observer of all that multitasking,
rapid
monotasking, as soon as you realize that, then you're present. So just celebrate that moment. Oh, I was just doing all of that. And then you said, take a deep breath.
Yeah, in that one book, what's it called? The New Earth. I actually didn't finish The Power of Now. I'm going to go back. I'm reverse reading. I read the other one. But one of the biggest keys, I think, to somebody that's new to this is when you feel like you're doing a million things, and even if you feel like you're being accomplished at that moment, but you realize you're doing a million things and your brain is not enjoying what you're doing at this moment, just to stop takes like 3 seconds and take a deep breath and pay attention to that breath. Fill your whole body with it. Hold it and release it. And in that moment, you are fully present. If you can do that, he says, if you can do that once a day, that's more than a lot of people do. We're usually going and going, and nobody's taking deep breaths anymore. Nobody's taking that moment to stop all day. So if you can do that starting 1 time a day and up it maybe weekly, and then maybe start a meditation practice, like that one deep breath can lead to more stillness in your life, more awareness of where you are at this moment. I thought that was one of like the easiest things to start with.
Yeah,
and being present in the moment. 1 deep breath and really paying attention to it.
Yeah, I like that. And also the practicality of it, like I was starting to say before, is that you have time that you're planning, but make a specific time that you're going to plan.
Yeah.
And so when you're planning, then you're 100% planning. 100% you're thinking about the future. And maybe that time is, maybe you're sitting in an office, maybe you're sitting in a cozy desk with a cup of coffee, but maybe you're not. Maybe you decide that between making dinner and, you know, maybe the kids have like a little time on their own playing or whatever they're doing for 15-20 minutes before you start the next activity, that's your time to stand at the kitchen island. It would be nice if you gave yourself a little time to like relax, but if that's your time and you know that that's what you're doing now, you have a piece of paper, you're thinking about the future. All right, what are we going to do tonight? What are we going to eat for the week? What are we going to do? All these different things. It's okay. You have to plan.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes. But
and it is helpful to what I call brain dump and write it all down, so then your thoughts, you know, you're not going to forget them, so you're not reminding yourself all day.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And then you can look back at that, like reflecting at the end of the day is really helpful, has been really helpful for me, just to like get all those ideas out and then review them, and you know they're there, and then you can go to sleep. It helps with sleep so much more. Oh, that was my comment. Yeah, so there are so many little techniques. And one other one that I was thinking of earlier was, again, the candle. If you have a candle, preferably beeswax, because it's the best for your health, just give yourself 5 minutes or even 1 minute. You know, if you're just starting, like, this is a form of meditation, and you just light that candle and you sit in one spot wherever you're comfortable, and you just watch the flame and you breathe in and out, and you just, when your mind starts to wander, you come back to looking at the candle. All you're doing is noticing the flame, and that's going to help with your attention, your ability to focus, and just doing that practice right now, you're building muscle memory. So that practice is going to help you in cooking dinner, or just talking to your kids, or just sitting under a tree. So meditation is really profound it's just like any other kind of practice. When you're doing the practice, you're building your muscles for later. Like, think about any kind of workout.
Yeah.
If you're like practicing the monkey bars, or you're lifting weights, like, you're doing that work at 7 a.m., but at 3 p.m. you can feel that your muscles are stronger. When you run up the stairs, you're like, oh, I'm not as tired as I was yesterday. And you're going to feel those same kind of results from doing any kind of practice, whether it's taking a deep breath consistently every day, spending 1, 5, 10, 20 minutes staring at a candle, or it could be a flower, it could be, you know, anything. Flames have a really special characteristic, but
We do. Yeah.
it's just picking somewhere to start.
And keeping the practice going. And I think filling what you fill your brain with, that's why we talk about books a lot, is because in this world we can get so distracted, and then we're like, our brain is in a world it doesn't ever need to be in. So I choose, in order to help keep myself in that right mindset to be, you know, mindful throughout my day, is I make sure that every day I'm at least giving myself 10 minutes to listen to something about being in the present, or staying positive, being mindful, doing the meditation. So it's putting those things throughout your day, because that's all part of the practice. So reading, listening to a good podcast, doing the meditation. So you have to keep yourself surrounded with those good practices in order for it to become your reality.
And then ultimately, you need nothing, but you need to take those baby steps. And so it's like,
without that support, it's so easy to just go back to old ways.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that idea, like, sometimes we hear, like, we'll just be in the now. And there are baby steps to get there. Like, it's not, eventually, that's the really cool, you literally don't need to plan as much. You don't need to pay attention to so many different things, and your life just begins to flow.
It does.
And I've known this logically for years, and I've seen it little bits by little bits, but it is now, like our now, that is just freaking amazing. Because once you start to, I'm covered in goosebumps, once you start to really get this and truly embody it, and you know, any practice that you do, like, it's that idea of embodiment is like the autopilot of driving. So once it's part of you, then you don't have to think about it.
No.
And
things just work.
Flows. Like, you meet new people, opportunities arise. And so when you're thinking, oh, but I have so many things to do, there's no way they must be different from me. It's not. We had 1,000 million gazillion things to do. We still do. Jen, you know, has a job and 3 kids and a husband and a house, and, like, you know, just, and I have a lot of things, but it does look different when you look at my life. So it flows. No matter what your circumstances are, these are things you can do for free. These are things that you just, it's changing your mind, it's changing your heart, it's changing your focus. And when you change your focus, your entire reality changes.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
So be in the now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are. High five for the now.
We're trying. We are.
We're not trying.
No, we're not trying. You're right. That's another topic for another day.
Bye. All right. Have a good one. Happy Wednesday.